Greetings, my loyal subscribers, as well my newest subscribers. Thank you all for coming. Now, for today on the menu, I'm gonna prepare a nice, lovely dish, and this would have been some curry turkey neck with ground provision. Just you heard correctly, curry turkey neck with ground provision. So the ground provision would have been pumpkin, yam with dumpling and turkey neck. Now, guys, this is something worthwhile watching, and you don't want to miss this. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in. Now here in the bowl, I have approximately 2.5 pounds of turkey neck. You know, my daughter made a request. She wanted some turkey neck, so I said, okay. Since that's what she wanted, I said, okay, let me just get turkey neck for her. So I went to the store and I got me some turkey neck, and it is 2.5 pounds. So what I did was to clean it up, as I mean, take the skin from off of it. It's a thin skin that is on it, so I had to pick that off. Then I went ahead and take the fat area from off of it too. Alright, so after doing that, I went ahead and cut them up to a reasonable size, and I wash it with lime juice and vinegar. Right, you have to wash it with lime juice and vinegar. Then I went ahead and get all my seasons. That would have been some garlic and pepper, along with some curry and some maggot peppers and some dash season. So as you can see here in the bowl, I have all the seasonings on it. So I'm just gonna go ahead now and just rub it all up. Okay, you know, have to ensure that the meat is properly seasoned, right? So you have to ensure that you rub it all up and to ensure that it's properly coated, right? Yeah, man. And if you notice, I'm wearing a glove because the curry have a tendency to stain hands, right? And it's hard to wash out the hands, so I have to ensure that I wear a rubber glove this time around to, you know, avoid mine from getting stained up. Now guys, there are different ways on how you can do this, right? Now, if you want to add your curry to the meat, right, you can do so. If you want to burn it, you can also do so. But if you notice that by add a little curry to the meat, right, and then I'm going to add the balance within the cooker, right, and then I'm going to pour the meat into the cooker and then give it a good stir. You know what I mean? So just continue to tune in and you'll see on how I get it done. The meat is almost finished seasoned. I'm just going to give it a few more minutes, and then I'm going to rest it on the fridge till tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be the day when I'm going to cook it. I'm going to go ahead and light the stove and allow the cooker to get hot, and then I'm going to pour some oil in it. Now I already went ahead and pour some oil within the cooker. So next I'm going to pour some curry in it. Right, I'm not gonna pour too much, just a little bit, because we already had some curry on the meat. Alright, so just a little bit of curry, and then I'm gonna allow it to burn for a minute or so, and then I add the meat to it. So continue to tune in and you will see the results. You know, after pouring the curry in the pot, I like to give it a good stir, you know what I mean? I don't want the curry to be in one place, I just want to give it a good stir, so that means that it's scattered within the oil, you know what I mean? Or if so be the case, I could have hold the pot and shake it. So next I'm going to add the meat to it, as you can see, and just putting them in piece by piece, because you know how it is with the hot oil and adding meat to the cooker, right? You can splash up, and I'm trying to avoid all that. So I'm just taking my own time and put them in piece by piece to avoid any form of splashing of oil. The meat is now added to the cooker, so I'm just ensuring that everything that's in the bowl is within the cooker, right? And then I'm going to get my fork and I'm gonna give it a good stir. You know what I mean? So you have to ensure it's stirring because they know, what I did place in the pot from earlier, they're down on the bottom, so I have to ensure that I use the fork now to, stir them to let them turn over on the other side. You know what I mean? As you can see, if you notice the dark shade of some of them, now those were the first sets that I put in the cooker. So continue tuning and you'll see the results. Now as you can see, it's now properly stirred, so I'm going to give it a few minutes to go and take my own time and brown some more. And then I will just go in again with my wooden spoon and stir. So just continue tuning and you'll see on how I get it done. Alright, so I'm going to give it a good stir again. Now this time I'm using the wooden spoon, right? Yes, man. Alright, so as you can see the shade now, guys, check out the shade of the curry. I'm telling you that it is looking the way how I need it to be. Absolutely. Alright, so I'm just going to give it a good stir and then I'm going to pour some water in it. Now I already have some water within the bowl here, so I'm just going to pour it in. No, I'm not going to pour in too much water in it, right? Because then now I don't want to have no long water, right? So the water that I'm going to pour in it should be on the same level with the meat, right? I don't want to add too much water, so the water should not be over the meat. It should be within the same level with the meat, alright? Then I'm going to allow it to come to a boil. Then I'm going to cover it with the cover. Now I'm going to allow the turkey at the pressure for 5 minutes, alright? Now when I put it to pressure for 5 minutes and it's not pressured to my suit, all I have to do is just put it back on and probably give it at least 2 more minutes or so because I need it to be tender. Because turkey neck takes some time to cook. So that's just how it is. You know what I mean? So continue tuning and you'll see the results. Here in the bowl before me, I have 2.5 scoops of flour with 1 scoop of cornmeal. Now as you can see, I'm using a spoon now to mix both dry ingredients to ensure that they're properly cooperated, right? Because you don't want to have too much cornmeal in one area and less flour, you know what I mean? So I'm just ensuring that it's properly mixed, right? So after it's properly mixed, what I'll do, I'll just use a spoon to dredge out the middle, right? Now when I say dredge out the middle, that's just what I'm doing. I'm just dredging out the middle, and then I'm going to get the water, and then I'm going to pour some water within the middle. Now I'm not going to add too much water, just a little. You know what I mean? So add a little water, then as I stated before, just add a little water, then you mix. Then you add some more water, then you mix, right? No, that way is much better than to add too much water at once, because if you add too much water at once, you may just spoil the whole mixture. So you don't want to do that, right? Just add a little water, then you mix, then add some more, then you mix. That's just the best way to go about it. Now, if you guys are wondering why am I using a spoon to mix the flour, the reason being is because if I use my hands are going to be too messy. You know what I mean? I don't like mess. So that's why I use a spoon to get rid of that process. You know what I mean? So I use a spoon now to mix the flour with the water. And as you can see, it's forming. So when it's finished, I'm going to take the spoon out. Then I'm going to go in with my hands and then I'm going to knead it. And you will see the result when it's finished. Now guys, as you can see, the dough is now complete, so I'm going to place it aside until I'm ready to make the dumplings and put them in the pot. Now the water is slowly coming to a boil, as you can see here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt to the pot. After adding 1 teaspoon of salt to the pot, I'm going to cover it and allow it to come to a boil. Then I'm going to make my dumplings and place them in one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a total of 8 dumplings. As you can see guys, a total of 8 and 1 spinach. Yeah, that's a small one, so I made a spinach with that one. Alright, so the dumplings are now in the pot, and I'm gonna put in the yams now. So the yams, they cut 2 pieces of yam, right? 2 pieces, I cut them in half, right? So that's gonna be a total of 4 pieces. If you understand what I mean, it's 2 slices of yam, and with the 2 slices of yam, I cut them in 2 halves. So that's gonna be a total of 4. Alright, so I'm gonna allow it to continue to cook. Right, now I have the pumpkin aside, but I'm not gonna put the pumpkin in yet. I'm gonna allow the yam and the dumplings to cook to a certain level, and then I'm gonna add the pumpkin, because the pumpkin is easy to cook and I don't want it to be fall apart. So I'm gonna put in the pumpkin last. I'm just gonna allow the food to go and cook. I'm gonna allow the food to continue to cook while I take the meat out of the cooker. So as you can see here guys, now this is what I'm talking about. It's the level of the water, right, is boiled down, right, and that's all I like. So what I'm gonna do now is to take the meat from the cooker and place them in the pot. And I'm doing this piece by piece, you know what I mean, because you know curry is thin, you know, so I don't want no curry to catch my clothes, right? So I'm just doing it slowly by taking them out piece by piece and place them within the pot. Now I've taken out all the meat from the cooker and placed them in a pot. So what I'm going to do next is to pour out what's in the cooker into the pot. Right, so as I pour it out in there, I'm just going to place it aside, and then I'm going to check on the food that is cooking in the pot. Now as you can see here, all the food is now within the pot. That's the dumpling, the yam, and the pumpkin. Now what I put in the pot first was the dumpling, then the yam after. But the pumpkin that is saved that for last. Why? Is because the pumpkin is more easy to cook, it's more soft, so I saved that for last. So as you can see now, all the food is now within the pot cooking, so I'm gonna cover it and allow it to continue to cook until it's finished. Alright, so the food is now finished cooked, so what I'm gonna do is just to turn the flame off and continue cooking the meat. Now I'm gonna light the fire beneath the pot with the meat. Alright, and then I'm going to allow it to come to a boil. Then I'll be adding my vegetables to it. Now the pot has now come to a boil, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pour in now the vegetables. And the vegetables are some carrot and Irish potato. Alright, so as you can see, and this is just 1 Irish potato and 1 big size carrot. Alright, so I'm just going to use a spoon now and just, you know, stir just a little, just to ensure that you don't have too much vegetables in one area within the pot. So I'm just taking my own time. You know, if you notice I'm using a spoon, I just to slightly shift them, you know what I mean? Not stirring them too hard, as in, you know, like I want to mash with meat. So I'm just taking my own time just to stir, just to ensure the vegetables are down within the, you know, sauce in the pot. After giving the meat a good stir in the pot, I'm going to cover it and allow it to continue to cook. After allowing the vegetables and the meat to cook down to a certain dimension, I'm gonna go ahead now and add in the seasonings. Now the seasonings that are cut up half cam and placed on the board. So I'm just gonna scrape them off within the pot. So I have some bell pepper, onion, scallion, and more pepper and thyme. So those are the seasonings that I'm using, right? So I'm just gonna give it a slight stir, you know what I mean? Nothing too aggressively, just a slight stir, because you don't know. I wanna ensure the seasons are scattered within the pot here, right? After stirring the pot for a few minutes, I'm going to cover it and allow it to continue to cook. You can smell that nice aroma. It smells so good. I love the curry turkey that they want to simmer down some more before I turn the flame off. So as you can see, that is my curry turkey neck, and it's smelling so delicious. I'm telling you, no guys, the thing with curry turkey neck, you know, right? Or the turkey neck itself, it resembles oxtail. The only difference is that the oxtail is more broader in a sense, you know what I mean? But the turkey neck and the oxtail have some similarity, just a little bit. So this is called the ghetto oxtail. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, this is called a ghetto oxtail, which is turkey neck, alright? So continue to tune in and you'll see the finished result. Alright, so it's now complete, so I'm going to turn off the stove now. Guys, it has always been a pleasure to share with you what I prepare in my kitchen. So please remember to thumbs up the video, leave a valuable comment, share me out, subscribe to my channel and hit that post notification bell and allow it to be on all. That way you'll be the first person to be notified when I drop a new video. Thank you for watching.